just you and me forever.
Do you take this woman as your lawful wedded wife?
Ooh, yeah! Oh,
Place the ring on her finger and repeat after me. With this ring,
no. With this ring,
I thee wed.
I thee wed.
Hello, and welcome to With This Ring. I'm your co-host, Ryan Everett.
I'm Cindy Everett.
And today we will be going episode 61, I should say. And today we will be going to October 1999, WWF No Mercy, which would later be used as the name of the video game in 2000.
So we were just talking about that.
Widely considered the greatest wrestling video game of all time.
Why is that?
Just because it was the peak of getting all the characters in the game, and then the storylines they just kind of reminisced all the things that they had done on TV lately. So
okay,
it's pretty nice.
Okay, do you still have it?
Oh yeah, it's still there.
Oh, all right, I believe you.
Yep.
So cool. All right. Well, I feel like I've got to refresh my memory on some of the beginning.
So
the Terry Runnels.
Yes.
The TIT, right?
Yes, because it has to have the TIT, the Terri Invitational Tournament between the Hardys and Edge and Christian, and they decided to have a best of 5 series.
Obviously.
And Terri is giving them $100,000 and her managerial services.
Ah, yes. And weren't the Hardy Boys? They're relatively new on this scene too, right?
Yeah, because they had the one blip where they won the tag titles in July, but then lost them back to the Acolytes pretty quickly. But so they've kind of been. Then Edge got rid of Gangrel, and then Gangrel took the Hardy Boys on as his.
Poor Gangrel. He just needs to get his own thing. The kids are more popular now.
Yeah, he's not really pulling his weight, so they kind of decided to. Well, he's still with them here, but soon after this, they kind of get him outside.
So, but yeah, no, they kind of realized pretty quickly that this is the go-to.
Yeah, and this is really the start of they've actually had a kind of deep tag division. But it really hasn't had good matches.
Yeah, where's the Road Dogg and Billy at?
Well, yeah. But this is the start of the tag team division really taking off again.
Gotcha.
And being an anchor for at least one or two good matches.
Okay. Yeah, there was a double suplex that Edge and Christian on each other's shoulders and
double superplex.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it's called?
Yes.
A superplex?
Superplex, yeah.
It's like a Googleplex?
Yeah. Superplexes from the top rope.
Oh, okay. Well, it was very impressive. And clearly it went to the 4-on-4, so the fifth one was going to be during the pay-per-view, right?
Right.
Yeah. And they had a weird photo shoot with Terri.
Yeah, where she's being covered in the $100,000 and.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah.
Obviously. Okay. And then the other pre-stuff was Fabulous Moolah and Mayor still.
Yes, they're still around, and now they're kind of arguing with each other.
Yeah. Good for them.
Yeah. They're still doing their thing.
Yep, doing their tag match. Then there was a Texas Tornado match. So there's a lot of Edge and Christian. There's the Edge and Christian.
Yes.
It's the TIT, the Texas Tornado, and we have the tables lit. I guess it's technically part of it. But yeah.
Right, the Texas Tornado match, which is a good one.
It is, but it feels like they're really carrying this whole month.
They work, I think, a lot of so the big thing that I teased at the end of the last episode.
Yeah.
A week after Unforgiven, they had their pay-per-view in England. And while they were in England, Vince Russo, the head writer, who didn't go across to England for this show because he wrote it, and that's what he did.
Right, so, yeah, he doesn't have to be there.
So, while the pay-per-view is going on, he goes down to Atlanta, meets with WCW, and ends up signing with them.
Ooh.
And just sends Vince McMahon a fax, not even.
Wow.
So, the whole thing was he had gotten pissed off because they added Smackdown.
Okay.
And that was an extra 2 hours a week of
content.
Content he had to write, and Vince McMahon was going to give him a raise.
Sounds about right.
And then when Vince Russo started complaining about like how, I'm already working so hard, I don't see my kids, Vince McMahon said, well, I'll give you a raise so you can hire another nanny.
Oh, jeez.
So, so that was like the last straw for him.
Yeah, well, good for him.
Yeah, so...
Well, he couldn't really save WCW at that point.
No. Well, that, and his writing style without the filter of a Vince McMahon to, roll him in a little bit. Oh, really? Is what gets WCW going further off the rails than it is already.
So this guy's more... Vince McMahon is the more level-headed one between these two guys?
Well, in the wrestling booker, the overall booking of the company, yes.
Wow, that's saying something about Vince Russo.
Yeah.
If Vince McMahon's the voice of reason. So, all right, so who replaces him? What happens?
Well, it's kind of goes to a committee of people. And this is when they start getting actual, hiring the Hollywood writers to come in. So
Freddie Prinze Jr.?
Yes, well, he's not around for a while, but yes, him and his ilk.
Yeah, gotcha.
So, they've already started to have some of them come in to do, promos for The Rock and stuff. Like, this one guy, Brian Gewirtz, they brought in, and he was just a joke writer for The Rock, and then he ended up becoming, the head writer of Raw eventually, so...
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's where they start getting guys in, and it just, I think... The biggest thing is having to work with a crazy person like Vince McMahon and being able to tolerate him.
Yeah, but that's a little of a shock to some people.
Yeah. So this, and it doesn't change the company right away, but you start to see less of the craziness with Vince Russo. You kind of have more gimmicks where it's just the guys that are I'm a wrestler, this is my thing. I don't have to have a...
like a snake or I don't have to drink blood.
I don't have to think I'm a 400-pound super heavyweight.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's definitely a shift that you don't see immediately, but you do notice it over time.
I'll have to keep an eye out for that then.
And there are definitely some guys that you see Vince Russo was getting ready to push.
Okay.
And then once he leaves, their push kind of falls apart.
Falls off. Okay. Like Gangrel.
Yeah, well, I think Gangrel was done either way, but...
Right. I gotcha.
So, we go to Cleveland, Ohio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Gun Arena.
Yeah. Any fond memories there?
I remember we went to a lot of minor league hockey games there for a stretch before it was whatever team's there now. It was the Lumberjacks. So
okay.
I just knew that was the cheapest way to take 4 kids was to go to a
probably
minor league.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, we're not going to go to a Cavs game or something. I do remember there was a pile of puke in the parking garage once.
Nice.
I was like, oh, watch out for the vomit. And then my youngest brother was like, that's not vomit, that's barf.
Nice.
So that still kind of sustains to this day. That'll be a family inside joke.
Yes.
Sometimes people will drop a reference that's not vomit.
Barf.
No, that's not vomit, that's barf.
Yeah.
So that's I think the Gun Arena parking lot,
your favorite,
parking garage. Not my favorite, but it's most memorable.
Okay, I can see that, yeah.
Yeah, the hockey games are fun, and I think we went to the circus there once in high school, too.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's
before circuses are banned.
Yeah.
So, now
it's just flips.
Yeah, now it's like Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah.
But anyways,
right.
I was not there in 1999.
No, but you would have seen.
I'm sure if I
quite
thought
the
hard
show.
enough, I could find some people that were. It would have been
18,000.
Yeah.
742. That's a sellout, I'm sure, but yeah. So start off with the great Godfather versus Mideon match
with Viscera.
Yeah, and
yeah.
The Godfather's good to have.
He's a decent wrestler,
and he's good to have as the opener.
It's no more Jeff Jarrett. We'll put us his
right
because
it gets the crowd going.
That's true. Okay.
That's what you want from your opener to get.
Yeah, get the
crowd involved. So he's always good for that, and just him versus Mideon doesn't need to be. It could have been 4 minutes, and
it was 7.5. Yeah, that's too.
Go long. 4 minutes to a little tighter and just get it.
With the ref is a really fast count though.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing too memorable.
No.
Godfather, what was his name when he was part of the Nation of Domination?
Kama.
Okay.
Kama Mustafa. And then, he becomes the Godfather.
Gotcha. But yeah, he was decent. Yeah, it's a good opener. Not a fan of Mideon, really. But
no, he's kind of
bad.
Yeah, and weird now without the Undertaker.
Right. Just kind of floating out there.
Yeah.
So then we have the Fabulous Moolah.
Yes, the women's title match featuring a. Let me see.
How old was she
here? 23. She would have been 76.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Yep. 76.
Perhaps. Good for her.
76-year-old Fabulous Moolah. Getting that hot young talent over.
Yep. Versus Ivory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote down Moolah is old, but she knows what she's doing. But it did kind of look like it was like a slow motion match.
Yeah, well, that's like kind of because she taught like all the women wrestlers, so that's kind of how women wrestling was like throughout the 80s and stuff.
Yeah.
Like a lot of snapmares, like
right stuff that they were doing.
Yeah, and then
but then Moolah wins.
Yes, Moolah wins and is the women's champion.
Obviously,
with her friend Mae Young, their West Sider, celebrating.
Yeah. How old was Mae Young at this point? She was probably also...
I think she was like 2 years older than her.
Yeah.
Oh, they're the same age, actually.
Okay. Are either of them still alive?
No, they're both dead.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, well, good for them.
Yeah, well, Moolah's actually pretty horrible, it turned out, but...
Okay. Well, never mind then. So, but yeah, it's kind of a good spot. It's kind of like you said, right after the opener.
Yeah.
They won the women's match. I don't want to say get it over with, but get it over with.
Yeah, but it's also got a little comedy still.
Yeah. Still not a serious match.
Yeah. And then we get the Hollies against the New Age Outlaws. And this, actually, the week before on Smackdown, it ended up being the Rock and Sock Connection against the New Age Outlaws. And the Hollies cost the Outlaws the tag titles.
Ooh.
Which really wasn't a smart move because they had a match coming up with them at the pay-per-view, or it would have been for the tag titles.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Well, someone messed that one up.
Yeah.
Vince Russo was working too hard. He was fatigued.
So the Hollies beat the New Age Outlaws here by disqualification when I think Billy Gunn goes nuts and hits both Hollies with chair shots.
Yeah. But I swear that Joey Lawler kept saying that each Holly weighed like 400 pounds.
Well, that's their thing. They're super heavyweights.
No, they're not.
Well,
they're like
they're super heavyweights.
Mid-lane size.
No, but they
guys.
in their mind they're both over 6'6" and way over 400 pounds.
Oh, was that their gimmick?
Yeah.
They were like delusional.
Yeah.
Oh, did not catch up. Did not pick up
and
on that.
Yeah, that's why when they're a tag team, they're allegedly at a combined weight of over 800 pounds.
Okay. All right, I did not get that. It was part of the gimmick. So
yes.
I was like, why is he saying that? Jerry Lawler was very committed.
Yes. Well, he does get committed to bits that no one else is paying attention to sometimes, though.
He's just like to entertain himself.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Or he just likes the idea of something that's not, even if it's not getting
it's like
over.
the absurd, yeah. He can sell it.
Yep.
So this is fine. I don't.
Yeah, it's.
We're like the Hollies. I feel like they kind of just where'd they come from?
Well, hardcore had been around.
That's true. You're right.
And then Crash like they just kind of. Yeah, he literally just like brought him on Raw one night and was like, "This is my cousin Crash."
Are they really cousins or no?
No.
I didn't think so. But sometimes maybe just brought him on. So who wanted to push Crash Holly?
Well, why
was it important to get him?
They like the idea of him being in a tag team. I think. Just
gotta find somebody to also bleach their hair.
Yeah, and then hardcore kind of bounces between singles and tag for a while, so
that's true.
Kind of they see what to do with them. And next we have the Good Housekeeping match for the Intercontinental title.
Oh, speaking of Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, so this is actually a very interesting story.
Okay.
Because, well, Jeff Jarrett loses, obviously. And
right.
This is the last we'll see of Jeff Jarrett.
Really?
He does not appear on WWF television until the 2019 Royal Rumble.
What happened?
He was working this without a contract.
Okay.
And he showed up with the belt and was real willing to do the match, but he wanted to make sure he got all his money from the pay-per-views like months previous.
Gotcha.
Before he went out and did this, because if he did the match and they didn't pay him, he had like no leverage anymore.
Right, yeah.
So they ended up like waiting and having to pay him like backstage
Oh, gosh.
before the match, and Vince McMahon was very
sure
upset
pissed,
about
yeah.
that. And then eventually, I mean, after WCW went out of business, he goes to WCW, Jeff Jarrett. But then after it goes out of business, he's like starts TNA, which was not really competition, but kind
Something
of
else, yeah.
for a while. So that's like kind of where he was. It wasn't like he was just waiting to come back. But
Gotcha. See, he's got, well, yeah, that's 20 years. You got to go live your life.
Exactly.
Can't just wait for Vince McMahon to call you back.
Yes.
Yes. So, yeah, it was a good housekeeping match, which means you could use household items.
Yeah. Now, questionable referee call at the end here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, and Miss Kitty is coming, she came out with Jeff Jarrett.
Yes.
They were quite together at the time.
Yes.
Or there's, yeah.
And Deborah was gone now, though.
That's right. Deborah's gone. He's with Miss Kitty. You definitely see all of Miss Kitty's Miss Kitty.
Yes.
That was at one point.
Yes, it is all out there.
Yeah. Yes, it is. But yeah, I said it was more entertaining than I thought it would be. There was like eggs and there's flour.
Yeah.
And, it's all. This commercial like makes me nuts. Yeah, it was entertaining.
Yeah, and then at the end, Jeff Jarrett hits Chyna with the Intercontinental title.
Yeah,
And
that gets him disqualified.
The match can't end. He can't use the
belt.
The belt because it's not a household item.
Obviously.
But it is in Jeff Jarrett's household if he was
That's
the
true.
Intercontinental Champion. I don't know about that call. And then Chyna uses a guitar.
Right.
Which
I was also kinda
not as household as
a belt, yeah.
belt.
They were using kitchen stuff before.
Right.
But
because a woman belongs in the kitchen.
Yes, obviously. So
yeah, it's so Chyna gets the win, and Miss Kitty ends up leaving with her, and
Chyna.
Jeff Jarrett walks to
Disgrace.
WCW.
Walks to Atlanta.
Shows up on Nitro the next night, actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That was quick. Where was Nitro being filmed?
Not sure where that one would have been,
Gotcha.
but it wasn't. I mean, he was in Cleveland, so
Right. Fly out.
yeah.
Whipped the eggs out, the duff flour out of his
take a-
hair, and got on a plane. Got it. So, yeah. I feel like these. Oh, the 1999 ones are not as good as the 1998.
There's something. Well, we have something coming up, but
okay. You asked about last time.
before that, though, we have The Rock versus the British Bulldog,
Yeah.
and this is like
That was
6
pretty
minutes.
short.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
that's
6 minutes at least. So
It's shorter than the Godfather's match.
yes, so it at least had that going for it. I'll take short and bad over boring.
True.
It doesn't overstay its welcome, but
Right.
it's kind of like his match against Billy Gunn. It's kind of like everyone knows The Rock should be doing something more important than just this.
Right. Why is he doing this?
It's kind of just like a holding pattern for a month.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think people kind of recognize that. But and the British
And this is like their last. I think they had already realized that the British Bulldog wasn't what he once was.
Wasn't long for this contract.
Yeah, this is not gonna last the whole time, but they tried to get him, and they'll still use him, but push him down the card a bit.
Gotcha. But then we have the really spoiler, my favorite match of the night.
Yes, yeah, I think that goes without saying.
Yeah,
And
not a pretty clear winner for the final Terry Runnels ladder match. Well, first it's Jerry Lawler being a total creep.
oh yeah, from earlier on Heat where
Yeah.
Terry's wearing a fur jacket with no bra
Yeah.
and climbing up a ladder in a miniskirt.
And also jacket's like generous. It's like
It's a fur
a drape,
vest.
yeah, a fur vest. That I assume is double-sided tape to his vest. But yeah, trying to demonstrate to Jerry Lawler how to climb up a ladder. Shocking. But yeah, this is lots of good inventive uses. Ideally, they'd map some stuff out.
Yeah.
But you could see sometimes like it did not really work out as
Yeah, they don't. Where if you had landed flat on the ladder, it probably would have worked. But when you land at an angle, it's probably not good. Mm-hmm. And still, I don't care how many times you practice it. When they're doing the seesaw thing where it comes and hits two guys in the face,
Oof.
eventually they did have one time where it got mistimed and the guy's nose basically like exploded.
Oof, yeah. I can see how that could definitely
yeah.
get
But
dangerous quickly.
here it's, I mean, they all took their bumps and they didn't wrestle the next night, but none of them were really injured or,
yeah.
you know, I mean,
but
sore, but
they got a day to
sore,
rest.
but not injured.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And that, the next night they kind of officially get rid of Gangrel. And,
That's right. They beat him up because he said he slept with Terri, right? Or something.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay.
Yeah, enough of you.
Yeah, we're done. So, but yeah, no, definitely good, entertaining.
Yeah.
Good precedent to start.
Yeah, and this is,
matches.
like I'm saying, the tag division kind of
takes off
ramps up from here and also gets more big-time gimmick matches that become, especially these two teams, and a third team that will kind of might surprise you.
Okay. Interesting.
At least is where they are right now.
Mideon and Viscera?
No.
Okay.
But speaking of mid-carders, actually, that brings up something we should have mentioned. And as you had mentioned in a book you had read.
Oh, yeah.
So in early October, on a Smackdown taping, it was D'Lo Brown versus Droz.
Okay, yeah.
And D'Lo was going for his patented running powerbomb, but like slipped as he was trying to get Droz up and dropped him, and Droz broke his neck.
Oof.
And ended up having to go. I mean, the match never aired. He was always like, he had good medical care and had he could get around in a wheelchair and could talk and stuff still, but never was able to regain full mobility.
So he's never able to walk again?
No.
Oh, wow. So that it happened, you said, on a taping?
A Smackdown taping, so then they just never showed it. They just mentioned, like, there was a match before the show tonight where Droz got injured. And
Yeah, I read a book called Margot's Got Money Problems, which was fiction. The main character was like a young woman, but her dad was a former wrestler, which is a made-up character, but they referenced all the real characters, so...
kind of buzzing real.
Yeah, it was kind of throwing me off a little bit, and throwing you off a little bit when I was like, is this real? Is this real? So, yeah, lots of talks about getting into bar fights with, like, Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, and... Yeah, visiting Droz after his injury with D'Lo Brown. Yeah, pretty much described, you just said, like, verbatim. She did her research, I guess.
I guess so.
If you want to guest for the podcast, you could text me, reach out to her and say, hey, tell us about your wrestling process.
Why did you focus on Droz? The Droz incident in 1999.
She didn't really focus on it, but she was like, oh, because the character was like, oh, my dad goes and visits Droz every year. So, there you go. It's relative. I mean, she's obviously already promoted the book, but she wants to do some more promos. Our tens of listeners can go check it out. So, anyways, so then we get a Rock promo, but then Triple H comes out.
Triple H comes out and uses the sledgehammer like 3 times.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, puts a beating on the Rock because the Rock was challenging whoever won the title match. So.
Yeah, you kind of figured he was going to come back later in the show if you had nothing match.
You know, especially if you could come back after 3 sledgehammer shots to the gut.
Obviously.
Just need a little piece of tape on your ribs.
Yeah.
That makes it all better.
Obviously. So
next we got Val Venus defeating Mankind. And this is 2 years in a row in October. Where if you remember last year, it was Ken Shamrock versus Mankind.
Kind of. Oh,
where they had the weird
Lion's Den match?
No, that would have been fun, those two. But it was the one where Mankind ends up putting the claw on himself.
Oh,
and he passes out to that.
Kind of.
It's just a stupid ending. And here's the same thing, where I kind of like the match itself was better than I remembered it being.
Okay.
Because like late '99 era Mankind is kind of known as being not great in the ring.
Best. Gotcha.
But the match itself I thought had a little more energy, but the ending is just stupid again, where they both have different claws on each other.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Because
Val Venus falls on top.
has like the
testicular claw.
That's right.
But it's
fine.
Fine. It's
yeah, I wrote okay. It was okay.
Yeah.
He takes a suplex to the chair. Like I said,
it
takes his bumps. Yeah.
It was a lot better than I remembered it being, but the Yeah, that ending is just bad.
Yeah. Velvetus pulled the sock out of the front of his pants. I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
I think the whole sock thing is not the best anyways.
Yeah, they've kind of... This has gone on a little long.
Yeah. When does Mick Foley change characters again?
January.
Is that to Dude Love?
No.
We go back to Cactus Jack?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Alright. Can get on board with that.
And then next we had kind of an odd... 4 corners elimination match.
That was odd. It was X-Pac, Kane, Bradshaw, and Ferrera. But they kind of announced them in pairs, but then...
Yeah, they kind of come out in their own pairs, but then...
Then you explain to me like it's not pairs, it's like 4 singles.
Yeah.
So, it was a little awkward, but X-Pac wins.
X-Pac ends up winning, yeah.
X-Pac's the only like faithful DX has never really defected to any other, Well,
the Road Dogg, too. But,
yeah,
I mean, he's got the Outlaws back now, but...
Yeah, he's not in... He's like D-Generation X adjacent.
By himself.
Yeah. Yeah, DX is holding down the brand. So, yeah.
It was okay. They're trying to get X-Pac, I think, up on a pedestal still a little bit.
Yeah, he's been kind of chugging along. Like,
yeah.
He has high-profile matches, but he never had main events.
Right. He's kind of just below them.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, here it's right before the main event.
Yes. Which was Triple H versus Steve Austin, which was a lot of craziness.
Yeah, lots of brawling.
Yes, this goes all over.
A great
the boom mic.
The boom camera.
Yes, the boom camera.
Being swung all the way across the entranceway right into Triple H.
Yeah. Yeah, they really just let Steve Austin do whatever he wants.
Yes.
Like, literally. Oh, they go to the crowd, then they take some guy's crutches.
Yeah.
And starts beating him up with a crutch.
Yep.
I'm sure that guy was very excited.
Oh, yeah.
He was, yeah. These crutches used to beat up Triple H. So.
Yeah, and then it's a pretty good brawl. It's kind of your typical 99.
Right.
No holds barred title match where.
Yeah, all over the place.
Yeah, blood.
Some color.
Chairs. Table.
Blood, sweat, and chairs.
Yep. Everything goes on. Eventually the Rock comes out.
Right.
And tries to hit Triple H with the sledgehammer, but he hits Austin.
No.
And then Triple H gets rid of the Rock and pins Austin for the win.
Yeah, so that's a little disappointing.
But but it's...
I think Steve Austin can go like a little bit of time without having the... He didn't have a title that time, did he?
No, he...
Right,
yeah, this was Triple H defended it, so... But you kind of see that they're setting up both the Rock and Austin for the next event.
Right. Yeah, these ones are just kind of getting through.
Yeah. So then, the next night on Raw, we should cover real quick. The main thing was, it was going to be the Rock and Sock connection against the Hollies, and Mankind gave his signed copy of his book, Have a Nice Day, to the Rock before their match, and then later Al Snow finds it in the garbage.
Ooh, yeah.
And Mankind then goes and confronts the Rock and tells him that he doesn't even want to be his partner.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to know him. And tonight will be the last time on the Rock and Sock connection, and Mankind is not happy. He just sits with his back to the ring the whole time, and
so he has an easy night.
The Rock almost wins it like as a handicap match, but then Triple H comes out.
Right.
And it's a pedigree, so the Hollies are your tag champs, and Mankind sadly walks off.
Yeah. No, the Rock and Sock is no more.
And we did also have an interview with Fabulous Moolah and Mae Young, where Mae Young is congratulating Moolah on being the oldest champion ever.
Yeah. Then they
get
brawl a little bit.
Get into it.
And then then the Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian beat up Gangrel.
Yep.
So that's good. Good kind of bookend at the end of that one. So
Have a Nice Day, which was released the next day. I went right away that day after school to Crown Books.
Where was that?
87th and Cicero, kind of.
Okay.
That general, that
area.
mall area.
Gotcha. Okay.
So then, that following weekend, Saturday, Mick Foley was signing them at the Tower Records, I want to say in Naperville.
Oh, okay.
So, me, Matt, and two teachers' aides that worked with Chick, who were like 20-year-old guys.
Really?
and they stood in line with us.
Did they drive you?
They drove us.
Oh, wow.
Chick drove us to their house.
Okay, which was where?
Like somewhere in Brookfield,
okay,
that area. Then they drove us to the Tower Records in Naperville.
Well, I guess your aunt didn't have to do it.
Yeah.
So
we,
your parents wanted no part of this?
No, I think they drove me probably to
Chicks. Yeah, that's as far as they were willing to go.
Yeah, that's as far as it was happening. But, so, yeah. That was our first time meeting McFoley.
Yeah? Was he nice?
Yeah. This was kind of a very quick one.
Well, right, yeah. You sign the book, you kind of says one or two things, and you move on.
Yeah. I think it was Naperville. I don't know. I tried to look it up, Tower Records, but
those are all gone.
Oh, I know it's gone, but
all...
I was wondering if there was a list of where they used to be.
Oh,
but there was one in Naperville, I know, and it makes sense that would be the one. Yeah,
checks out. Where did you see him when you got the Christmas book signed?
That was a Walden Books, Oak Park, I think.
Okay, so not too bad.
It was an outside, it was an outside area where they had a bunch of stores, and
gotcha.
They had that Walden Books storefront.
They just plugged him down there.
Yeah, I mean he was downstairs where it was nice and cozy.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Yep.
So, but yeah, definitely, like I was saying, I think he talked to Vince about it. I have to promote this book on the show.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it was because they originally had him. Because they had a deal for 6 wrestling biographies.
Okay.
I think it was Reagan Book or HarperCollins, a big time publisher. So they were going to do Mick Foley first, and they had the guy.
Oh, like a ghostwriter.
They had the guy talk to him for 2 months or a month, and he started writing the manuscript, and he read it, and it was horrible. And he was let me do 150 pages just of me writing it and see if it works, and he did that, and they loved it, and so he ended up getting to write it all himself.
That's good. It was. I think I read part of it.
Yeah.
Is it good?
It's pretty good, I thought. I mean, he does go on tangents every once in a while.
Oh yeah.
But it's pretty good.
I kind of remember reading part of it. He loves Christmas.
Oh yes, very big on Christmas.
I think that book especially talked about how he came up and was driving every weekend 12 hours to do shows and something crazy like that.
Right, yeah, and sleeping in his car. Yeah.
So good for him.
It does legitimately become the #1 bestseller.
Oh really?
Yep.
Yeah, good for him.
I mean, I think wrestling fans just kind of went and bought it. So.
Right. What were the other 5 biographies?
Well, the next one's The Rock's, which is very, very not written by The Rock.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
The second half of the book, it's all in the third person.
Yeah.
In character.
In character, yeah, that's weird.
There was a Kurt Angle one, a Triple H one, and then they must have eventually restructured the deal because they had more. China had one.
They were doing good enough to keep.
Lita had one.
Gotcha. Yeah. I can't expect to really learn a lot from those books where they're ghostwritten.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you everything.
Right. You'll hear funny anecdotes, but it's not
deep dark secrets or anything.
Right. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So.
All right.
The show itself. Let's see where. Well, let's go with match first. I think.
Yeah, obviously the tables, ladders, and chairs one.
So Hardy Boys
with a Z, right?
Yes.
Obviously.
As in Christian.
I'll have to find another one.
Yeah.
And the main event.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like the main event.
Yeah, it's entertaining. Like I said, they really let Steve Austin do whatever they do. How do you even know how to work that boom camera?
He's
He's
got that mechanical brain.
Yeah, he must. I think it looks hard to maneuver.
He looks at things and kind of.
It's how can I hit somebody with it?
So would you say Hardy Boys Edge and Christian is your match of the year so far?
What's my match of the year so far?
I don't think we didn't really have it listed, but
we'll have to go back then and go through. But yeah, we should go back and watch all of our top matches and see which one holds up.
Yeah, do that.
I mean, that would obviously recency bias.
Yeah.
Is sticking out to me. But yeah, that would maybe one more at Great Wolf Lodge we can watch wrestling matches.
Yes. All right, and then our rating of it.
Do I like this more or less than? I think I like this slightly more than Unforgiven.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 7.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say it's got to be higher than Unforgiven just because of the ladder match alone.
Right, that's true.
Better than anything at Unforgiven. 6, 7 fully loaded.
Oh, and you remember Unforgiven had that awful dog match.
Yes, that's true. Also, I'm trying to think if I'm 6 or 6.5 or.
Okay.
I'll go 7 also.
You're usually generous in your ratings.
Yeah. There's No Mercy. Yeah, the main event and the ladder match are better than anything in Unforgiven, and
right
doesn't have
any like
kennel
plunkers.
Yeah, no
the
dogs.
Match.
No dogs fucking.
Yeah, or peeing or barking.
Yep.
So
that's it for this month. But now we'll be moving on to November, and
yeah, so that's the next one.
Well, what always happens in November?
Survivor Series.
Yes, of course.
Now I've learned.
Yeah,
it's taken me
the Thanksgiving tradition.
Interesting. So I'll have to watch the shift with Vince Russo leaving.
Yeah.
Sounds like I probably won't set in immediately.
Right, it's
start
not.
To see things change.
It's kind of like also this is when they started getting all the pressure from like the parent television console and stuff, where it's kind of funny that they started attacking them at like a time where they were trying to cut back on them, like the sex stuff.
Yeah,
but they were, and then of course when
you don't have Sable out with like the handprints.
But then once they start pushing at you, Vince McMahon's not gonna back up. He's
down. He's gonna double down.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll see what happens then.
Well, we'll see what happens then next time.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Fueled by his quest for gold,
Steve Austin will never be the same again.
Blinded by vengeful rage,
Your little penis is in these crosshairs, and I will hunt you down.
one man hell-bent on glory,
I am the game.
the other revenge.
Open up a can of whooping right in front of the whole damn world.
Triple H, Stone Cold, the WWF Championship.
The rattlesnake is back.
WWF No Mercy, presented live by IDOS Interactive Soul Reaper. Tonight, only on pay-per-view.